Hey guys, this is Welcome Matt. It's been a while. It's nice to see you again. Trying to get back into the habit of doing videos more often, and putting out some stuff for the channel, and hopefully things that aren't as rushed. I like to start doing some playthroughs. I've done a few of those in the past, but do some playthroughs of some games I've been playing, and some other reviews and stuff. So tonight I was getting back into solo gaming. My wife's at work, and the kids are down for bed, and I'm exhausted, too tired to do anything else. So I played Sentinels and Multiverse, and I tried. This is my third villain. I've beat Baron Blade, and I've beat Akush Buta. How do you say that? And each of those villains I lost at least once or twice too before beating. So I guess I'm not the greatest at this game, but I also tend to make it harder. And normally I've been playing with 3 heroes. This is the first time I've played with 4. So I played against Citizen Dawn at the Tomb of Anubis. And I just want to give you guys a session report here, but basically what happened was I had Tachyon, Absolute Zero, Unity, and the Mighty Ra, playing with this version of the character, the God of the Sun version, because I also have this version, which has a different ability: draw 3 cards and discard 2 of them, and 1 less health. Win. I don't know. This was a really tough match. The cool thing for Ra in the Tomb of Anubis is the Challenge of Fire was the first card I draw, which basically puts out fire every turn. And early on, I have Flesh of the Sun God out, which lets you make your characters immune to fire damage. So every round, I used this power to make my guys protected from this, so that this fire damage that happens every turn would go on to all of the Citizen Dawn characters. Well, it was crazy. Even though I got rid of Anubis once he came back, before the end of the game, I had this many cards out in front of me. Until, so you see all those environment cards, not including this one. All of these 8 were out all at once. And then she drew, what was that card? The one that lets her just devastating Aurora, which really is devastating. Once this focuses a little bit, it says destroy all hero ongoing cards, destroy all equipment cards, destroy all environment cards. Game changer. So like, it destroyed all of this, but not only did it do that, it got rid of, I had it all, like half of this pile of discard cards was all the cards I had out here. All those, most of all those were removed. I was no longer protected from fire damage. She had a crap ton of, I'm sorry for the language, she had a bunch of citizens out. Spring, Anvil, Blood, Summer, Hammer, Sweat, Autumn, Luminous Leadership, all of that. And by the way, what made this so hard at the end of the game was Citizen Anvil reduces all damage dealt by 1, and then twice she had 2 of these ongoings that return villains from the discard pile into play. So she kept bringing back Citizen Truth, who basically makes you only focus damage on him. So not only that, so you had that comboing with Citizen Anvil. Even for me to do 1 damage to him, took 3 damage of normal damage. That was brutal. So yeah, it was really hard to put out damage. Tachyon, this is only my 2nd time playing with her, so I didn't know the character that well. She really doesn't do that much damage unless you get a ton of cards that have the burst thing on it. And then she has this card that says for every card that has burst on it in your discard pile, do 1 damage. So at the end of the game, I had like 13 or 15 of those in the game. So she can have that one massive powerful blow, but throughout the game she's just doing little bitty damage, which wasn't doing me any good because Citizen Truth and Citizen Anvil are out and they're protecting all these people from damage. Mind you, even when I'm getting that damage off, every round Citizen Spring was bringing back, I don't know if this will zoom in, but at the end of every round she lets every citizen recover 1 health. So even that damage that I was getting through was being washed away. So it was like rinse and repeat every turn. Like an Absolute Zero, man, he was even tougher, like trying to figure out around the whole fire damage thing and like trying to protect him from that, but then like convert my cold damage to heal myself. I had to spend a lot of times just healing myself to keep him alive, hoping that I could finally draw cards to get out combos. But he is tough to play. Situationally, I think he could be a great character, but I think he has a few great strong cards, but he has a lot of cards that do damage to himself. He is tough to play without someone that really helps you heal. Unity, the problem with her for me was just bad luck of the draw this time. She has one of the bigger, it feels like at least bigger decks of cards. But man, like she has to have equipment cards pretty much for me to like bring out all of her what do they call them? Mechanical golems, which are really awesome things once you get them out. The problem is at the end of the game, this was my hand. 1 mechanical golem, a 1-shot card, which depended on mechanical golems to do damage. Mechanical golem, mechanical golem, mechanical golem, mechanical golem. Those were all in my hand, and I couldn't do anything because I didn't have any equipments. So it's really frustrating with her. Like I really wish she had a power that let you search for an equipment, because I had all these golems, I couldn't do anything. Like I was literally just wasting turns. I felt like that with 2 of my characters, Absolute Zero and Unity. Most of the time, I just was wasting turns. And then you had Raw. Raw was the one guy that was doing fine. The problem was there was no one buffing him. I think he actually would combo well with Legacy, because he can buff himself. He has some great cards, and I was able to do that. And he is a damage pourer. And I think to beat Citizen Dawn, you're going to have to bust out the damage pourers. So I'm going to try it facing her again with Raw and with Legacy, and probably throw in Haka and maybe someone like Tempest, just all the damage dealers. Her citizens are really annoying. You have to find ways to take care of them quick. Maybe I need someone too that deals better with ongoings, because I had a real problem getting rid of those. So yeah, that's my gameplay experience. In terms of the environment, I find that the Tomb of Anubis, there's a couple of cool treasures you can gain. I like that idea. But they're not that powerful. They don't feel rewarding enough. Here, the treasures are here. The Idol of Input, which lets you regain 2 HP for a power. Or, I'm sorry, I misplaced the other card. The Rod of Anubis. Your hero deals 1 target 1 infernal damage. 2 infernal damage. So not bad, but pretty standard. I mean, most heroes that are doing power damage are already doing like 1 or 2. I felt like if you're going to go to the problem of making sure you destroy the trials, which some of these trials really cost you to get rid of, like the fire one, the reason I didn't get rid of that is because you have to discard up to 3 cards. If you just discard the number of heroes plus 2 cards this way, you destroy this card. So you have to, so for me, with playing 4 heroes, I would have had to have discarded a combination of 6 cards from all my heroes, which is just brutal. It's really brutal. So the tomb is tricky. There's a few cards in it that can definitely hurt your opponent. And I was trying to use that against her and just let the fire kept overcoming her, but she had her citizens that kept protecting her, and then she kept healing herself. So I think against some villains, the tomb could actually be more helpful to you, especially if you have Raw and if you can protect yourself from fire, or Legacy can protect himself from stuff too. But the tomb could definitely give you some problems. Citizen Dawn is tough. Yeah, she's tough. She's really tough. Another reason I struggled with her, I took a ton of damage because I could not get... So once you get out 5 or more villains into the citizen trash, which this was probably my flaw in the game, is early in the game I was way too eager to get rid of the villains because I wanted to flip her and then flip her back quick. But I found myself in a situation where it was hard for me to get 3 of her villains to stay out there. I mean, you see at the end of the game there was a ton of them, but for most of the game there was only like a few. And she probably spent at least 3 or 4 rounds immune to all damage, because that's what she does on this side. Until I could get out 3, because I was playing with 4 heroes. So number of heroes -1. Once that many heroes didn't play it, at the start of her turn. And that was the other problem. I would get 3 out there, but then like one of them would die because of the fire thing or something. And so, man, that whole, like, I love that mechanic though, because trying to figure out when to let her flip, because it's probably going to happen at some point. I don't know how you could win without it. Because as soon as you get out Citizen Truth, all the other citizens are immune to damage. And he is, oh my goodness, he is the worst. The other ones are actually not too terrible. It's this one because he forces you to focus his energy on him. And he protects Citizen Dawn. So yeah, misdirection. But the mechanic of figuring out when to kill those citizens, I think that's what hurt me in the early game at least. But also just not having characters that do a lot of damage. So that's my analysis of this session of Sentinels, and I'd encourage you to keep playing games. And I'll see you guys soon. This is the Welcome Matt signing out.